Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. The stock market been open 2 hours. They already making decisions about your life and your ass was asleep. The Bible says, he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night.
A salary is the drug they give you when they want you to forget about your dreams. Because it's very easy to stay in that world where somebody is mitigating your risk. You just have to perform certain tasks, do them well for a third of your day, and they will feed you a salary. And you don't have to think about anything else. And that, for a lot of people, works. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's very noble. Great employees are extremely valuable to build enterprises. But when you leave that path and you put at risk,
you got your first job, you're 18, take $300 every month and we're gonna automate it to this separate account. And you do that for 8 years. You'll never have to invest again and you'll be financially set for life. If he does the math, he goes, that's $28,000, over 8 years, $28,800. Market's gone up 10% over 30 years. Let me show you what the numbers are when they compound. You know how much he has when he retires? $1.8 million, and all he put in was $28,800.
One of the things you would want to be sure to do is, whether you like it or not, get very comfortable, it may take a while, with public speaking, for example. I mean, that's an asset that will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a liability if you don't like doing it and are uncomfortable doing it, that also will last you 50 or 60 years, and it's a necessary skill.
6 things that most people do that the rich don't. Let's see how you score. Most people get paid for their time. Rich people get paid for their value. Most people think they know all there is to know. Rich people are always learning. Most people blame others. Rich people take responsibilities for their failures. Most people watch TV. Rich people read books. Most people focus on savings. Rich people focus on investing. Most people drift through life without a plan. Rich people have a plan of action. Let me know how you scored in the comments.
He says, the moment I pay you, you think like an employee. He says, that's the trap. Entrepreneurs work for free. And now I'm 9 years old, my head's going cracking in half. He says, you never want a paycheck. You understand that, kid? I said, okay, I got it. And he says, well, how do I make money? He says, that's what entrepreneurs figure out. It's like, so how do I learn about money? So he would just break out a Monopoly game board. So I would work for free. I'd pick up cigarette butts, and he had hotels and restaurants, and I would clean and do menial tasks. And as I got older, I started getting into office work and marketing and accounting, and I was an apprentice basically, but I always worked for free. And he would teach me about money, but the way he taught me about money was playing Monopoly. And finally one day I got upset. I said, well, when are you going to teach me about money? He says, what do you think we're doing? We're playing Monopoly. He goes, no.
Hey friend, when I was your age, there were 3 mental blocks that were mocking my mind and blocking me from millions, okay? And when I got rid of them, everything changed, okay? So one, as I was spending too much time on 1s and 2s, not 9s and 10s, okay? I was doing the stuff that didn't matter and ignoring the stuff that did. Then I was overthinking. It was like, oh, should I use MailChimp or Aweber? Should I focus on Instagram or YouTube? Like, just pick and move fast. And then finally, number 3, oh my goodness, I was quitting too quickly. Don't quit too quickly. That is a killer, okay? So if you're going like 3 months as a real estate agent, 3 months as a copywriter, 3 months as a high ticket closer, you're never gonna get amazing, and you gotta get amazing to get the millions.
Here is what I wish someone had told me when I was 18. Go find the person who is living your ideal life. Go to them and say the following: I will work for you for free for the next 90 days. I will work harder and smarter than anyone you've ever met. And when you get...
And before I knew it, I'm doing $20 million a year. I've got employees everywhere, and I'm thinking, man, and everyone's like, how'd you do it? When I started Lightspeed, I was broke, and when I first made my first $10,000 a month, I took 5 of it and I went and hired somebody. Now we have 2 people to get us back to 10,000. And so as soon as we got back to 10,000 a month, I grabbed 5,000 and I went and hired another person. And everyone kept saying, dude, I thought you're making money with Lightspeed. And I'm like, I am. Well, why are you living in a 1-bedroom apartment? Why is your car out for repo? I thought you were doing good. I said, we are. Every 10,000, I'd take 5 and hire somebody. Take 5 and hire somebody. What happened was because I was not afraid to spend money. I was not afraid to use money. I scaled, and before I knew it, I'm doing $20 million a year. I've got employees everywhere, and I'm thinking, man, and everyone's like, how'd you do it? I wasn't afraid to spend money. If you're not making more than, let's say, 70 grand a year, you might as well be working for yourself. Now, it is dangerous, I mind to tell you. Like, I don't want to motivate someone to quit their job just because they hear this podcast and they're like, that dude's right. Calm down, slow down. All I'm saying is think about starting your own business. Now, how would I do it? I would think about problems and solutions, and I would start a business on the side. You're only probably working 40, 50 hours a week currently. Work another 20 and build your business. You don't interrupt your life. You just sacrifice some time, and you focus it on building a side business, and then that side business grows. There's MLMs, the home-based businesses. You can invent services, products. You can do all kinds of shit. You can start a market. Anybody can start a marketing company. Let me ask you a question, Alex. If I could generate you $15 million next year, would you give me 20% of it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I work for Alex. Well, what do? I just started a marketing agency. I'm going to go get him more business than he can get himself. The opportunities are everywhere if your perspective's in the right place. Most people's perspective's out of whack.
Thing about advertising, you never advertise your product. You advertise the benefits, you advertise the emotion. If you can do an ad where you can get your viewers to go, oh my God, I wish I was in that scene, you've just got a killer ad, right?
Wow.
So if you have like a software that saves time, right? You don't do a photo of your software. You do a photo. You have a guy in the Bahamas sipping a martini on all the time he's saving. Okay, so that's a really, really, really important part of advertising and marketing, and that became my passion when I figured out these nuances. That became my passion.
Dude, I hate college. I think it's the biggest fucking scam on the planet. Right? And think about this. What if you taken that 100 grand and all that energy you had at 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22, and you had started your own business? Even if it failed, how much more would you know about business now? And you'd have a fucking track record of like building businesses already, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fuck college.
If you grew up in the middle class and you're looking to get wealthy, you're basically more or less going to have to defy everything that your parents and the education system taught you about money or lack thereof. And you're going to have to start implementing different types of habits and different types of behavior than those two sources of your education. You're going to have to start thinking a little more outside the box. So you're going to have to start thinking about assets. You're going to have to start thinking about a house being more of a liability than an asset, and looking to build up other forms of assets, whether they be paper, real estate, rental properties, crypto assets, commodities, building a side business to cash flow. Those are the things you're going to have to start thinking about. You're going to have to start thinking about the tax system, incorporating yourself. You're going to have to think like a wealthy person.
Years ago, the company said, we're ready to expand internationally, we need some help. I was sort of semi-retired. Right? Looking for the next exotic beach. They said, no, Mr. Rohn, we got a project for you. Right? We're going to expand internationally. We could use your help. Next little while, we'll add some millions to your fortune, make it worth your while. I said, okay. I thought later, isn't that interesting that they called me? My second thought was, of course they'd call me. Who else would they call? I mean, I can get the job done. Now, how come I got a telephone call worth millions? I had become valuable. Now, I'm a farm boy from Idaho. I was raised in obscurity. 1 year of college, and I thought I was thoroughly educated. Made all kinds of mistakes.
The notion that a single person acting alone, without anybody watching, can change the course of an enterprise is probably true as much for a company as it is for a country.
I agree.
We believe that, and we have a thing called storytelling, and every day before every shift starts in every department, the supervisor says in gatherings of 8 to 10 people, anybody got a story about yesterday and something good that happens? And if it's great, we post it on the in-house internet, and we make signs and a print shop downstairs, and we put up big posters on the walls with the story and a picture of the kid that did it, and they become famous.
Wow.
That is to say, something that they did increases their self-esteem.
Yes.
Anything that increases someone's self-esteem is much more powerful than money.
It's a terrible mistake to think you have to have an opinion on everything. You only have to have an opinion
on a few things. In fact, I've told students, if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich because they would think very hard about each one. And you don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 or 5 will probably do it over time. So I don't worry too much about the things I don't understand. If you understand some of these businesses that are coming along and can spot things on, if you can spot on Amazon, for example, I mean, it's a tremendous accomplishment what Jeff Bezos has done. And I tip my hat to him. He's a wonderful businessman. He's a good guy, too. But could I have anticipated that he would be the success and 10 others wouldn't be? I'm not good enough to do that. But fortunately, I don't have to. I don't have to form an opinion.
All right, I get these comments a lot. Must be nice to be rich, or I bet his parents paid for it. So my question is, what part of my house makes you think that I didn't pay for this? Is it the half-finished kitchen without any upper cabinets and my microwave sitting on top of my fridge? Is it my premium home entertainment center? Maybe it's all my used hand-me-down furniture and concrete floors. Maybe the fact that my garage is completely uninsulated and not heated or cooled. But then maybe you'll say, oh, but you have all those cars. The Jeep was $6,000, the BMW was $2,000, and the Mustang I bought wrecked for $3,000. So yes, total all that up, and it's much less than you spent on your new Civic. Oh, and most people, even with hard work, won't make enough to have this. What do you think I've been doing? It's called living below your means and not buying crap you don't need. Stop trying to justify your laziness.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast.